Hello guys, in today's video I'm going to be showcasing one of the most useful shortcuts that you can use in Amur if you are starting as a new player. And it has come to my knowledge that this shortcut has not been used by a lot of players. So let's get to it. First and foremost, this is a continuation of my previous video where we brought a Tatra forge from the metal factory for getting the metal beams. So before starting, we're gonna need a decent truck, something that does not have a lift axle, and a crane, American dirt tires, mud tires, or even the new tires from the Chat DLC. It will be also immensely helpful if you can restore the fuel station near the gateway to the other map, as that will come in handy later if you are trying to make a return trip. For the purpose of this video, I will be using the International HX520, which I consider to be a very decent American truck. These are the waypoints that are needed to reach the goal. First, there will be 2 rocky mud pits, an icy crossover, and a pathway through the trees. The path through the trees is held up for experimentation, and you can use your own ways to reach and go through the trees. Once you drive forward, come close to the river bank, and you can see that the ice underneath is not that deep, and you can safely cross over to the other side. There are also a couple of dead branches that you can use to pull yourself if you get stuck. But be careful, there are plenty of rocks on the way. Proceed forward to this narrow gap and go through the trees. Gently go to the side of this narrow ditch and take a left turn, and you will notice that the gaps in the rock are of a perfect size, and you can slowly go through it. And now, once you go to the rock pits, you will notice that there is a small hill, and I would suggest that instead of going straight upwards, you can just take a left turn, and it will be much more easier and more forgiving. And now you can continue to the second rock pit, but be careful, the rocks here are dangerous and it can tip your truck. Once you reach the ice section, it is smooth sailing, and then again, as you can see on the right side, the ice is breakable. So continue on the left side and continue forwards. Once you reach the trees, it is up to you to choose the path that is best suitable for you, as different trucks can perform differently. The main problem with this path is that the Amur trees are made of high-strength steel, so they can actually push your truck or prevent you from moving forwards. For the sake of this video, I will just explain that there are 2 ways to go forwards, to the left side or to the right. But since I'm having a tippier truck, I'll be choosing the right pathway. It is much more level and much more forgiving on the truck, and I will have a smoother time driving upwards. Then again, I will just say that the left side or the left pathway is much more easier, but a much more stable truck will be easier for you. Remember, if you ever get stuck in between the trees, you can use the winch to pivot yourself and get to safety. As you can see here, this has saved me a lot of time going through the trees. If you are wondering why I am using an American truck, I just want to showcase that this pathway is suitable for any type of truck that you wish to bring. In my earlier playthrough, I used a truck with a lift axle, but it just takes way too much time to do with a truck like that. Once you reach the beehives or the apiary, you can just continue forwards and go through the trail in front of you. Now what you see in front of you is one of the most dangerous obstacles that you will encounter on your path. This tiny rock here always tries to tip your truck. And remember, if you're going to tip, you can always use the winch to pull yourself forward. Once you reach close to the fuel station, just take a sharp right turn and continue forward. In front of you, there are two big rocks that can get you stuck, and there is also a small tree stump. Drive carefully over those obstacles. Unfortunately for me, I got stuck here. Again, I'll just use the winch to pull myself forwards. Congratulations, you have reached your destination, and you can unload the metal beams here. In this video, we are also going to make a return trip, and it is highly advised that you restore the fuel station, as you will need the fuel to make the return trip. Usually when you complete delivering the metal beams, your truck will be lighter, but since we don't have the machine and I have completed it long ago, I will still be carrying the metal beams back to the garage. Again, the same rock that causes trucks to tip is again posing a danger to us. However, if you drive back and forward, you can slowly nudge the rock to the left side and you can continue forward. Coming back to the beehives, use your horn to dislodge the beehives. It is better not to drive over them as it can damage your suspension. Continue straight forward and it is a much more easier pathway. It is over here where I previously suggested you to take the left turn to make an easier journey. As you can see the tire tracks, the right pathway is the one we took earlier to go to the fuel station. You can go over the ice and continue forward and take the right turn. Here we will reach the first rock pit, continue slowly and continue towards the second rock pit. Here you can see that the rock pit terminates in a small ending. This one will tell you that you need to take a straight right turn to the upwards direction. Of course, you can also take the turn to the left and continue the exact same path that you came, but that would be anticlimactic. This is Snowrunner that we are playing, so we're going to take a sharp right turn and go in between the rocks. Again, you'll notice that the width of the rocks are a perfect match for the truck. This again leads me to believe that this was probably one of the intended shortcuts that you could take and was intended by the developers. Drive very carefully and slowly over this obstacle, as if you're in a hurry, there's a high chance that you may tip and fall down. Now when you go forward, it might be tempting to try and rush and climb over the edge of the bank, but it is very dangerous and you may even tip again here. So position yourself properly and you can see that it is way easier to take and drive over the river banks by reversing your truck. So this way your bumper will not collide with the river bank. This process is highly time consuming. The most ideal method is to park another truck on the riverbank and pull yourself upwards. But since we are doing this method in solo, we are going to use the crane to push ourselves towards the riverbank. This is why it's essential to bring a truck with a crane. And moreover, you will also see later on in the video that the crane will help us untip ourselves. Again, patience is the key to overcoming this obstacle. Here, I was a bit careless and I almost tipped myself, but luckily the crane came in clutch. Another good reason to have a crane with you. And that's it, you have made your journey back to the garage. And I hope that you have enjoyed this journey with me. And hopefully, this method will come handy for you in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.